Today we're going to discuss how to apply what we know about perimeter and area to irregular figures. Irregular figures are often the composite of figures. Composite meaning to compose or to put together. Here are two rectangles that are brought together to make this irregular composite figure. So how would we find the area of a shape like this? We would use decomposition. To decompose is to take apart. So we want to decompose this back into the parts it came from by dividing across and thinking of it as two distinct areas. We can think of it as area A and area B. In order to find the area of area A, we need to know the dimensions. 6 and 4, that's pretty easy. We get 24 centimeters squared. For the area of rectangle B, we need to do a little bit of thinking. I can clearly see that the height is 3, but what is this base? I have to bring together a little bit of understanding of the bigger picture where I see this 2 in conjunction with this 6 tells me implicitly what that length right there needs to be. And if we think about everything being right angles and everything being parallel and nice and equal, we can determine that this is therefore 4 centimeters because 4 plus 2 gives me the 6 of the full length. So to find that area B, we're going to take 4 times 3. We get 12 centimeters squared, and my area total is 24 plus 12, or 36 centimeters squared. Figuring out the perimeter of a shape like this isn't so bad. You just have to really keep track of where you are. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start on this side and I'm going to go around. So first I'm going to get this 6 centimeter piece. Keep going around, get that 4 centimeter piece, the little 2 centimeter ledge and 3 centimeter piece. Along the bottom, I've already figured that out as 4. I'm kind of running out of space here. And now up this side where I've got to do a little bit more thinking again to figure out how long that is, I see the 4 and the 3 is going to account for that total height, so I know that that's going to be 7 centimeters. So go ahead and add everything up. I've got 10, 15, 19, 26, and this is a single dimension. This is centimeters. This is a length. This is not centimeters squared. There's 4 different ways that you could figure out the area of this particular shape. We could have done it the same way that we just did by using area A and B. We could have actually divided it this way instead and used areas C plus D. Somebody else might come along and actually divide this into 3 different areas, and that's perfectly fine. Then we would add area E, F, and G all together. And lastly, somebody else might actually take this larger area and subtract the area of the missing hole, which is right here. It's perfectly acceptable to often subtract a piece instead of adding the other pieces. In some cases, that's really going to be the only way to do it. Often we're going to encounter much more complex figures that look like this. Notice that there's lots of different pieces jutting out. There's this piece, this semicircular piece right here. Think about the decomposition and how you would break this shape down. Probably would look something like this. Breaking this down into a little 2x2 square here. This larger rectangle, which is 4 by, well, let's see. This is 3 inches and 2 inches. So this area right here is going to be 4 times 5. 2 times 2 for that area. This little triangle right here has a base of 3 and a height of 1. So the area of the triangle is 3 times 1 divided by 2 is 1.5 inches squared. And then lastly, we need to find this area right here as well, which is a semicircle. So we're going to need the normal area formula for circle, but we're going to divide that by 2. So the area of part 3 is pi r squared divided by 2. My radius is clearly labeled for me as 2. So I've got 4 pi divided by 2, and I get 2 pi. You're going to want to go ahead and add all of those up to find the total area. If I want to be exact about this, I would say 4 plus 20 plus 1.5 plus 2 pi, and I would simplify that to simply 25.5 plus 2 pi inches squared. That's perfectly fine. If you wanted to go ahead and approximate this to 6.28 and then add up an approximate total, that's fine too. Really depends on the directions of any given problem. Figuring out the perimeter of a figure like this isn't too bad, but it does sometimes require a little bit of additional work. So let's see, starting out right there, I can see I've got 2 plus 2 plus 2 or 6. I've got 4 for both of these sides and 3 there, so that's a total of 11. I have 3 there, and now I've got a little bit more work to do. So for this piece right here, I'm going to have to do the Pythagorean theorem. So let's just call this x for now. They tell us that this is a height of 1, so that's great. I'm going to have 1 squared plus 3 squared equals x squared. Oops. So x is the square root of 10, which you could figure out an approximation is about 3.16. Lastly, I need to figure out this piece right here, which is going to be half of the circumference of that circle. So it's going to be, let's just call this y, is going to be 2 pi r divided by 2 because it's a semicircle. So that's pretty easy. It's just pi r, which is, r is 2. So I've got 2 pi, which I can approximate to 6.28. So I'm going to go ahead up here and I'm going to add 6.28 and the 3.16 that I came up with before. And I'm going to get a total of about 29.44 inches. Again, a single dimension right here. Sometimes figures have holes, kind of like that first problem we looked at. Here's a rectangle where I can see pretty clearly that this area is simply 9 times 11 or 99 meters squared. But here's that same figure that was 99 meters squared minus this space here in the middle, which has an area of 2 by 3 or 6 meters squared. So what's the area of just the shaded part? The area of the shaded figure is that full 99, and I'm going to subtract away that hole that has the area of 6 to get a total area of 93 meters squared. And that's all this shaded area with that hole taken out of it, literally subtracted. Now, as far as perimeter goes for a shape like this, it's really kind of a weird question because perimeter, by the purest definition, is the distance around the outside. So it's really a question if we should include this edge or not. That is going to become relevant when we start talking about surface area because interior surfaces that we can touch are still part of the surface. But as far as perimeter, we would need a little bit of clarity with a problem like this on whether or not the problem was seeking for us to look at all of the exterior edges or all edges as far as perimeter is concerned. Sometimes that gets a little bit more complicated. Over on the left, we have what's called an annular ring or an annulus. An annulus is a larger circle minus a smaller circle. So we need to consider all of the different measurements that we have here. This radius we can consider moving all the way over there. And I get a larger radius right here that would actually be 20. How did I get that? This diameter breaks down into a smaller radius of 13. I've got 13 and the distance across the ring is 7. So I have a little radius of 13 and I have a large radius of 20. So my area for this shape, the area of the ring, is going to be the larger circle minus the smaller circle in between. My larger circle has a radius of 20, so 20 squared is 400, so that's 400 pi, minus the smaller circle. 13 squared is 169, and I get a total here, let's see, 231 pi centimeters squared. On the right, I have a similar thing where I'm going to find the area of the shaded space is going to be the area of the circle minus the area of the square in between. The circle is going to be easy. That's 25 pi r squared. The square, we need to figure out what a side of that is, and there's a little bit more work here. I'm going to have to spin this radius around to right there. I get 5. I get another 5 over here, and what I have here is a 45, 45, 90 triangle where I have x, x, and right there 10 equals x square root of 2, if you remember how this breaks down. So my x equals 10 divided by square root of 2. My area of the square is going to be 10 divided by the square root of 2 squared. I'm going to go ahead and subtract that away. So I'm going to leave this as 25 pi. 10 squared is 100. Square root of 2 squared is 2. I get 25 pi minus 50. Again, you can go ahead and approximate 25 pi and get an approximate answer, but this is your exact answer, and this is fine. Depends on the directions of the problem. Other problems are going to be a little bit more complicated. Here's a pretty cool shape, which is kind of this little star figure in the middle, but they're asking about the shaded area, which is out here, which looks like it's a square. We'd probably be given a little bit more information in a problem like this to assume that. But here's what we can imagine is happening is that these 3 little pieces right here are going to travel around and add up to make one full circle. So if I was given something such as being told that this length was, I don't know, let's call it 50, that means that right here would be 25, right here would also be 25, and this would simply be pi times 25 squared, or 625 pi. Oops, I forgot my units. Let's do units squared. Here's one that's even more complex. Definitely can tell that this is a circular shape, and right here I've got a semicircle, but now I've got that little asterisk shape kind of taken out of the middle of it. I could go ahead and bring this whole shape over here. Imagine continuing this and getting that asterisk shape out of there. Now I've got these circles, but that's a little weird because I'm not going all the way to the edge of the box the way that I did before, so it's a little trickier than that. Down. What we actually need to imagine is 2 different semicircles, and we're layering everything together. This first shape right here, the shaded area, is the whole square minus area 1 plus area 2 plus area 3 plus area 4. So how can I find area 1, 2, 3, and 4? I'm going to find them using these shapes right here. Area 1 and 2 come from the square minus a single circle. Oops, I don't know how to spell circle. Circle. There we go. And the same thing's going to happen with area, that was area 1 and 3 actually. Area 2 and 4 are going to be the same. Also going to be the area of the square minus a circle. I'm going to go ahead and calculate those, plug them in, and I'll be home free. Now the perimeter for a figure like this is actually not as big of a deal at all. If I'm thinking about those exterior edges, as long as I just don't add them up in order, it's very easy. Right here I have a semicircle, and right here I have a second semicircle for a total of a single circumference. And now thinking top and bottom, I've got a third and a fourth semicircle for another circumference. So I've got just 2 circumferences, or 2 pi r times 2. For a total of 4 pi r, which in this case r is 5, and we're done. Now, with any of these, don't be afraid to think outside the box, take pieces apart, put them back together. You really got to get creative, but at all times, do not hesitate to reach out to me for help, as always.